things Razorbacks. Trey Biddy in the Zone brought to you by Tire Town Point S in Benton. Find them online at pointstire.com. Check out the new clothing at Bell & Swart in Conway. A new cricket polo with Razorback logo, button-downs, vests, sweaters, slacks with UCA or Arkansas gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. Great staff, fantastic service. Bell & Swart, the only Central Arkansas men's store with a tailor on staff to fit you. So go now to Bell & Swart, 1011 Oak Street in Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Once again this year, The Buzz is proud to bring you college football talk with Mark May each and every Thursday morning. Brought to you by Edwards Food Giant, The Meat People, and by Hennard Foothills Equipment in Searcy. Mark will be breaking down the week's biggest games, who will win, and why they'll win on Morning Mayhem. So tune in every Thursday as Edwards Food Giant and Hennard Foothills Equipment present Mark May.
For a nation searching for a voice to guide it through this modern-day wilderness of popular culture, politics, business, and sports. In these troubled times, we turn to one man. That man is Bill Vickery. Born with rural American values, possessed with superhuman brain capacity, buttery smooth charm, razor-sharp wit, chiseled good looks. He's chosen to use his superpowers for the good of all mankind. So this Sunday, the nation turns to this man for answers and direction. To Bill Vickery and the Sunday Buzz.
Be. I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
Well, I left Razorback Stadium. Can't call it Reynolds Razorback Stadium anymore. I'm going to call it Razorback Stadium because we don't have a naming rights deal. But put that aside for now. I left yesterday confused, damaged emotionally, adrift, much like Joe Biden on a Tuesday. Fortunately for me, I've a good support network. Happened to have two close friends with me for the game. First time that I'd sat in the general population of the stadium in a decade. But it was a fun experience for about 45 seconds. Made my way around Bentonville, Arkansas last night in a daze, like a man who's rudderless, a ship adrift in the ocean. Fell asleep and woke up this morning and saw the sunrise. So, all new, hope springs eternal. All the show that I had in my head from 1:30 yesterday Just sorry. I can't look at my phone while I'm doing the show simply because I've got too many friends that are too smart and they know the word hoi polloi. Anyway, I got up this morning. The show that I was going to do at about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, it involved, what does the Razorback secondary look like? It's Harpo, Zeppo, Curley, it was the Stooges and the Marx Brothers combo. I had a lot of stuff. Hunter Yurachek is Neville Chamberlain at the start of the season, waving a piece of paper. We have peace in our time. And then, had all that prepared. I had this idea. I was going to retell the story of how when I was 10 years old, my father and I were at an adjacent farm, and I watched a man beat a mule with a stick mercilessly, and how that affected me up until yesterday. How I went when I was 8. My father took me to see the movie The Town That Dreaded Sundown, about a serial killer that had stalked the town of Texarkana right after World War II, and it did make a rather horrific impression on an 8-year-old boy. And of course my mother was mad at my father for him taking me. He thought he didn't see anything wrong with it, and how that had stuck with me until yesterday at about 11:45 when those images came back. I was going to do a show all based on that. But it dawned on me, you got to take all that bad energy and you got to turn it into something. Where to go from here? You can spin your wheels and stay in the mud. There can be a lot of anger, and it's not unjustified. The passion for the fan base is still there. When the anger goes away, that's when there's real trouble. I think we all know the fate of the Razorback program this year, and probably the change that we'll see and what that looks like going forward. I don't know, but it's safe to say that a new regime will be in place when spring football takes over. Before the transfer portal starts. Unclear as to when that happens. And let me say this. Sam Pittman saying yesterday he deserved. I think that he's been extraordinarily honest. I believe that we have seen the evolution of college football affect the University of Arkansas in a flash, as it has affected some other schools in the Division I realm. Oklahoma State, to some Virginia Tech, to some degree, maybe a little less or so, but Clemson, schools that missed on the NIL program versus schools that thrived. It's a clear picture. And so instead of bringing a lot of bad energy to the table today, instead of wanting to do the thing that we as Arkansans, we're this sort of self-loathing group of fans that here we go again, and I'm sick of this, and it's all true, but you've got to forge a pathway forward. We cannot waller in unhappiness. That we have to pick ourselves up and we have to devise a plan and move forward. And I'm reminded of Eisenhower when he was put in charge as Supreme Commander of all Allied forces, and he was meeting with Field Marshal Montgomery and said, look, things haven't gone so well, but all that changes today. So we can take the mistakes that have been made and continue as a sports program, a football program specifically, and do nothing about it, or we can learn from the mistakes that have been made and create a future for ourselves, change the destiny of the program, and move forward in a positive and upbeat way. And just, again, what gets measured gets improved. We talked about this on the program many times. And so you take what are significant measurables from yesterday's disastrous performance. And, of course, we're going to go into all of that probably a little bit later. But let's take a step back and look at how do you get here. And it's not all Sam Pittman's fault, and it's not all Hunter Yurachek's fault, and it's not necessarily all these players' fault. There's wide blame that needs to go around. I think there has to be acknowledgement that as fans, we've not supported the program in ways that we can be fickle and haven't dug our way out of this. The program hasn't been there, but it's a clear and obvious situation for the university to have to deal with the name, image, and likeness gulf that exists. But then I get a text message from the Attorney General this morning, Tim Griffin. Hey, it's not all there's talent. Look at Vanderbilt. Look at that. And he's right. I got to have Tim on next Sunday to talk about this because he's a knowledgeable sports fan. He's a knowledgeable football fan, and he was texting me like, look, and he's dug into some solutions, and so I take a little, I take some from what the Attorney General says, and you kind of put it all in a stew, and you take that first step forward, and that begins this year, and it begins with fans. And look, the season is a waste. We have to acknowledge that, but out of that acknowledgement comes the notion that how do you go forward? How do you move forward? How do you prepare? How do you not take one season and turn it into 10 bad seasons in a row? It has to be acknowledged, and should very much be acknowledged, that what a true dumpster fire the program was the last couple of years of Burt, and then, of course, the lost seasons of Chad Morris, and how deep in despair Razorback fans were, and the Long Beach States and the Middle Tennessee Tech Slippery Rocks coming in and winning, and how low the program had sunk. Sam comes in. There's a bit of a turnaround for what it's worth, and we'll go through his record. The spike, clearly the high point being in Tampa that day that the Razorbacks run off the field as Outback Bowl champions beating Penn State. But clearly a regression. And what does that have to do with NIL? What does that have to do with how the program is set up? What are we looking forward toward? I believe a number of things that structurally have to change, but they can change. And as fans, there's no need to start yelling and screaming. Look, that serves no purpose, and you cannot believe that I'm the one saying this, the man who melts down after every Razorback loss, the man who needs a wellness check where a licensed psychiatrist came to the studio at some point worried about my well-being near the end of a program. And so, but the point becomes we must move forward. And how do we go about doing that? What's the path forward to acknowledge the good job that is done? See, you're exactly right. It's not what you expected. It's feedback coming in. It can't be. I've run out of historical references anymore. It's General Zhukov. I'm reminded, as doing research for the show, I noted last week Gregor Zhukov, the great Russian field marshal who devised the strategy of burning down the villages as the Germans advanced in Operation Barbarossa and luring them deeper in within miles of Moscow. And then, of course, the Russian winter hits and utter and complete destruction for the Germans, and the turning point in the war, and Zhukov moved forward. But in doing some research, I ran across a story that I didn't realize last week, that he had to burn the very village he was raised in, and with tears in his eyes, they set it aflame, and he comes back and he personally oversaw the reconstruction of that village. And so all of that sort of pops through my mind today, and it's going to be okay. The sun came up. We're going to move forward. Some changes are going to be made, and it's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Now, the person with the real pressure on him was sitting about a row in front of me yesterday in John Calipari, because we're all going to turn to basketball now, and it's going to have to be a good football season too, by the way. A good baseball season too, by the way, to get us over that hump. But good stuff. I can't look at the phone anymore. Okay, I'm being positive. I'm being upbeat. And it's not all money. What I said about the Attorney General, he's got a good point here. Coaching has an impact on this. What does coaching look like in the modern NIL. Vanderbilt is a good example about moving forward. Yes, a quarterback has made a great deal of difference there, but they've gone about a winning culture over there that's not just a mindset, but they've put real systems in place. So as I said, we'll have Tim on next week. I mean, we're up here in Northwest Arkansas today. The technology doesn't exist to really do a whole lot more than what we're going to do today. And thanks to David for bringing over everything. We're going to talk to Boston Paul Buckley, who was with me yesterday. And unfortunately for Paul and myself, my dear friend Dave Latour was with me as well as Notre Dame superfan, a Notre Dame insider. But I was glad they were here, because not only are we going to talk to them for the next really hour and 40 minutes about both their experiences in terms of Arkansas football and what they see, the business of college football, and then of course we'll go through and dissect the games as they were. So it'll be a good day. Should we have someone like? And listen, I've not talked to him about this, but do you put a guy like David Basil in charge of something that we discussed last night? Somebody like that to run a fundraising program on the NIL side of things. So, Todd, let's go to break, and I'm going to bring Paul and Dave in. 3 men sitting alone in a hotel room. I haven't been like this since Vegas. You know, this is. You want to talk about the definition of awkward is 3 grown men sitting right next to one another in a hotel room on a bed. This is listen, either this is the most heterosexual thing that can happen, or it's in a gray area over here, and we'll break into show tunes. But listen, Paul Simon captured it just right. I mean, Garfunkel's on board because, he had a car and could drive Paul Simon around, but there's a bridge over troubled waters. Do not worry, my friends. Stay with us.
I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled.
Looking for burgers, barbecue, beer, bourbon, ball games, and brunch? Look no further than Ouachita Bar and Grill, 915 Central Avenue in beautiful downtown Hot Springs. Ouachita Bar and Grill, family and pet friendly, with indoor and outdoor seating available. Bingo Bango Brunch, served on Sundays from 11 till 3, with live music Thursday through Saturday. Take a look on Facebook to see what events they've got going on this week, and join the fun at Ouachita Bar and Grill, Central Avenue, downtown Hot Springs.
September is here, which means it's a busy weekend for all of us during football season. If you're like me, baseball season too. Travel baseball was big back on Sundays in the fall. And the one thing that could keep you from maintaining that busy schedule, joint pain, knee, back, hip, shoulder, whatever it is, don't let that run your schedule. Don't let that rule your life. Hey everybody, I'm Josh Neighbors, and QC Kinetics is here to stop joint pain from calling the shots. So instead of laying on the couch, you're out there with your family, your dog, and you're out there until they get tired, not until you do. QC Kinetics, no drugs, no surgery, no long recovery, just a smarter, more natural way to get your freedom back. And also, that first consultation, absolutely free, so there's no reason to wait anymore. Call QC Kinetics today, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. Call QC Kinetics today.
Tito's Handmade Vodka presents the 2025 1037 The Buzz Fall Golf Tournament Tuesday, October 14th at Repsamen Golf Course. Registration is now open. Go to 1037thebuzz.com to register your 4-person team. Prizes will be awarded in both morning and afternoon flights. It's the 2025 1037 The Buzz Fall Golf Tournament Tuesday, October 14th at Repsamen Golf Course. Presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka and brought to you in part by Double B's and Twin Peaks. Thanks to Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, Sonic, and Michelob Ultra.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HOUSE for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HOUSE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HOUSE.
At MNB, our reputation speaks for itself. We won't just tell you that we're the best. We'll prove it with our products, services, and commitment to the communities we serve. Technology is constantly changing, and there are more options than ever right at your fingertips. We'll always offer you the latest in technology, and we'll serve it up with great customer service. So when you bank with us, you know you're covered. You keep moving forward. At MNB, we've got your back. Check us out at mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Oaklawn Sports presents Oaklawn Game Day. It's an inside look at the week's biggest games, exciting prop bets, and the latest betting lines from Oaklawn Sportsbook. Justin Acree and Oaklawn's Vice President of Racing and Wagering, Zach Gillum, give you all the information you need to place your bets at Oaklawn. Catch it on The Buzz Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and again Thursday mornings at 5:30 before Morning Mayhem. Oaklawn Game Day on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
More of the Sunday Buzz with Bill Vickery.
You are now free to turn up the volume as loud as you want.
A man walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger, dogs in the
Oh, I see what you did there, Todd. You went with some upbeat Paul Simon.
You get a little yin, a little yang.
Yeah. Right. Can I borrow your towel? My car just hit a water buffalo. Okay. As I said, going to break, in what is considered a very awkward situation for three grown men to be sitting on a bed in a hotel room together with headsets on. Usually you got to plug in the fact that you're over 18 to see kind of this kind of stuff. But I won't go any further. My very dear friend Dave Latour, who's been on the program before, Dave. What is your title at you're the El Duce, El Jefe?
I'm the principal.
The principal.
Latour Communications.
Okay. And you're headquartered in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I say this, and I genuinely mean this. You are widely considered the best Republican consultant in the state. And you have worked, fortunately and unfortunately, on some of the big issues that people across the country would recognize that come out of the state of Pennsylvania.
Right.
But as important to that, you came on the program before the election, before the presidential election, and you called every state 100% spot on. And so not only proving your bona fides from a professional standpoint in that way, but you're also a Notre Dame insider and one of the most astute collegiate football observers I think that we have. So that's the important role for today. Paul Buckley, you all recognize, Boston Paul, who is a semi-regular and a Super Bowl Sunday staple. 3 S's, Paul. He also is here. They both came in, Paul, Dave, as we talked about you guys wanting to come in. And, Dave, you really were kind of the impetus behind this. You're a big Notre Dame guy. Hey, I want to come down. What about it? And we talked back in January.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then we put it all together, and you guys were able to come in. So before we get too deep down a rabbit hole, on NIL and the future and the state of college football and where we go. And then in the second hour, we really will nerd out on a lot of that stuff. I'm curious to know, Dave, you first, your impressions coming in, Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, the stadium, the pregame, relative to South Bend, relative to State College, PA, relative to other stadiums where you've been,
Yeah, so I try and travel around every year. I love college football probably more than anything, any sport, probably more than my family. I'm so happy they're not hearing this in Pennsylvania. I have to tell you, first of all, very impressed by the opening of your show. It's not every day I get to hear the Slovak Symphony Orchestra perform O Fortuna.
Yes.
I did not pay you for any of the accolades you gave me,
Yes.
and I am quite surprised you didn't burn the house down in the open segment. This is not what I expected. But I will say I've really enjoyed my time here in Northwest Arkansas. I've been to a number of SEC stadiums. I try and get somewhere new every year. Last year I was in Kyle Field for Texas A&M, Notre Dame. I've been to Auburn, LSU, Alabama. I have to tell you, and I'm not just saying this because I'm sitting here in a Razorbacks hoodie, just to be respectful to your listening audience. It has been my favorite SEC venue, and for just a couple quick reasons. Number one, everybody's friendly. And I think that's important for a venue. I don't want to feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder because I have Notre Dame gear on. Number one. Number two, I love the tailgating on the hillside.
Yep.
Like if you get too drunk at a tailgate, you are going for a roll.
It is a sobriety exam.
Yeah, it really is. So I love the look of it. I thought the stadium had a great mix of new and old architecture. I thought that was awesome, and just the game day pageantry was remarkable. And I'm serious when I say this. I wish it was a closer game because the fan base deserves it. And I wanted to really feel the excitement. By halftime, the game was over, and everybody was ready to leave the stadium.
Yeah. Thank you. Those are all kind words about a place that I hold dear. And it has been yesterday was a special day. Even an 11 a.m. kickoff, what I refer to as a Bloody Mary kickoff. It's still, the weather was fantastic. We dialed it up. It was very kind. You said go shorts from the very start. I initially showed up. You were in shorts. And then when Boston Paul came down in shorts, I thought, okay, there's a consensus building here. Paul Buckley, welcome back to the program. You are the principal in it's a Latin term, Paul, that I've never been, the name of your firm in Boston.
The firm's name is Prodeo Orbis Ignis, which translates in Latin, as a good Jesuit that I am, to go forth and set the world on fire.
Okay. Well, pro Orgnus Ignoramus, you're the principal at that firm. And again, a longtime friend of mine, and I don't think it's out of line to say that while you happen to fall on the opposite aisle, on the political side, a good Boston Democrat, you're again widely considered not just in Massachusetts but in a number of states, a spectacular consultant. You do a wide range of work. You also you appear almost exclusively on this program, though, to talk sports and to talk usually pro football. But I'm curious to get your impressions. You and I sat together at what now would widely be, what has to be considered the high point of the Sam Pittman era, as we sat in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. That's January 1st, and enjoyed the game and watched the Razorbacks win. And who knew that was the high point, Paul? But you've been a loyal Razorback Foxhole fan manning the Northeast. Curious to get your impressions. First trip to Northwest Arkansas, game day, everything else.
I would say it has exceeded every expectation. I've gone down to Little Rock several times. Always looking forward to come here to Fayetteville and Bentonville. First, Bentonville. What a great place. I was going to say a great little place, but that's the feel you get. Walking around Bentonville, and it's clear they're not done yet with trying to turn Bentonville into a friendly community. But I really have enjoyed staying here in Bentonville. And like Dave, the atmosphere in Fayetteville yesterday, up until a certain point in time, was outstanding.
It was fantastic.
In Boston, we don't have that kind of college environment. We're a pro sports town for the most part. The Northeast is pro sports, and it's really enjoyable to come into a community like I did yesterday, and look around, and 100,000 people with a common vision, a common expectation, a common excitement. I really did enjoy seeing the whole camaraderie, the whole environment. It was pretty special. In fact, I think we talked about, as we were approaching the stadium, and it's down below, and you're up high, and I got a little bit of a chill down my spine looking around at the size of the stadium, the size of the crowd, the excitement in the air, up until about halftime.
Yeah, up until halftime. You're exactly correct. Well, it was nice. David was kind. Steve Sullivan. It was good to see those guys do their job from a broadcast standpoint. And David was nice. Dinner, the night before. All of that goes into a fun game day experience.
Fantastic.
Okay, now let's. We're not talking politics at all on the show this day. So we're talking about something far more important. That's college football. So I'm going to start with you, Dave. I wave a magic wand, and you can, without worry of cost or anything else, you can fix one thing about the Razorback football program.
Right.
What would it be?
It's got to be NIL, and the reason I say that is just as somebody who is paying attention to Notre Dame, and I actually have season tickets to Penn State. My wife is an alum. We get to a lot of home games. The whiteout was another predictable Penn State disaster last night. But what I've watched Penn State very closely on NIL, and you could argue that nobody had a bigger challenge than Penn State in embracing NIL after years of Joe Paterno, and we do things the right way, and we don't pay players, success with honor, all those things. Now all of a sudden you're telling people pay up. For me, I look at Arkansas, and I see some similarities in that, first of all, you can recruit kids who love Arkansas football, no problem. But today, kids have so many options. You can travel anywhere quickly. A kid can go to Southern California and play in the sun. You can go to Notre Dame. You can go down to Florida. So you've got to recruit kids in northwestern Arkansas. So it was hard to do before NIL. Well, now NIL, I think it's even harder. These kids are for hire. And I think – just looking at the numbers and some of the articles I've seen about NIL and SEC, Arkansas's got to take it serious. I know you do good NIL work with baseball and basketball, two great programs. Football's got to catch up, or I don't really care who you bring in a coach. As a Notre Damer, I don't care if you bring in Newt Rockne. He's not going to win here in the modern day without legitimate NIL.
Great point. Paul, I wave the same magic wand for you.
I think it's the same answer. It's NIL. In thinking about what I saw yesterday and getting ready for the show today, I recalled an article that The Athletic did, where they took the pro model of valuing the football programs. And, the Cowboys are up there, the Patriots, the Giants, and they took that model to college football. And when you look at the SEC, The Athletic ranked in terms of program value, Arkansas is number 10. So, and of course you've got Texas up here, you've got Georgia, you've got Alabama, and I don't think anybody expects Arkansas football to achieve those levels overnight. But that's a solid valuation as a baseline. Better than Missouri, better than Vanderbilt, better than South Carolina, better than Mississippi State. So there is a base here of value, and if you can learn how to use NIL better than you have, you can build on that base and I think achieve some success here because the fan base is so strong here. So I say figure out NIL, and then go from there.
I do think it's important. You guys come from a different part of the world here, and it's always easy to simply throw money at a problem.
Sure.
And that's all. We joke all the time in coaching searches and everything. I promise you, there's going to be a parade of people. Open up the checkbook, Randy. Just pay whatever it takes, and that's all good in theory, and of course, that could solve a problem. It has been, though, the NIL issue has been I think we should acknowledge, an utter and complete failure from a football standpoint. I think just in doing some cursory research for this, the NIL program itself has gone through 2 or 3, maybe 4 directors. It did not become a priority until after the fact.
Right.
We need some lifeboats now. And it's one of those things. And it's hard because in a flash, in a short span of 48 months, college football changed so dramatically. And the schools that got out in front of it in terms of the NIL, that put a collective together that said we know this is going to happen. And we heard our athletic director even reference this. Well, then those schools have achieved and the other schools haven't. And so you can bring in good coaches. I think in the SEC, a program in the SEC will always attract a good coach. Somebody will want to coach there.
Right.
1, because the salaries are so high, typically. And then 2, you get to measure yourself and can build a career. Unfortunately for Arkansas, the business of the business is really hamstringing the program now. I noticed again in putting this together, we're down to one person now on a website, and that's the NIL Collective. And if you look, these are just full-time employees. Dave, I want to ask you about Penn State, but Mississippi State, 5 folks who work solely on their NIL Collective. Florida, 8. Auburn, 7. Texas has 6. Alabama has 6. And these are and we're not even talking about comparable schools to Arkansas, which would be Ole Miss and Missouri, who have thrived in this era. What is Arkansas missing, Dave, when it comes to creating an NIL that can be successful?
Well, first of all, it sounds like everything is still siloed, and NIL has to be in the forefront of a modern athletics department in the NCAA. Penn State has done a good job. I guess let me illustrate how Penn State does it right now, and it is still evolving. Yeah. Because the whole system evolves, it seems, every month or every other month. Things change. So they have a team of full-time employees. You were talking numbers there. Penn State has 6, and then they also have some consultants that they work with. But it's called Happy Valley United. That is their NIL, and it is under the athletics department. So you have the vision set forth by the athletic director and the head football coach. Happy Valley United works under them, and they work hard all the time, putting together events all over Pennsylvania. They've gone to New York. They've gone to Miami because there's such a huge alumni base for Penn State. So they're going to different cities and hosting events, bringing in star football players, legends. James Franklin goes to pretty much every event. LeVar Arrington, guys like that. So everybody has to buy into it. Like, this is what it takes to get players here, and oh, by the way, keep players here.
Yeah.
Penn State and Notre Dame as well, they don't lose starters, okay?
Yeah.
They lose guys who aren't playing.
Yep.
And that is really incredibly important. So every week, Happy Valley United has a staff meeting every Monday with the athletics department, with the football staff, with them. What are our goals this week? What are we doing? They're looking at numbers, looking what their fundraising targets are. So I say we, and I'm not even a Penn State fan, but I'm a PA guy. Sorry. So when Penn State, every year before its whiteout game, which was just played last night against Oregon, they have what's called a white party Friday night at Penn State.
Kind of the takeoff on the Hamptons.
Exactly. And everybody's dressed in white, and there's thousands of people there. They're all cutting major checks for the NIL. They also have giveaways and silent auctions to raise more money. You've got Saquon Barkley at the event, just legendary Penn State folks. And it isn't. And when I say this, and I think this is where Arkansas needs to go, it's an all-in mentality.
Yeah.
Everybody's in about getting this program to the next level. Now, clearly they lost last night. They've got some issues. But you know who they lost to? One of the most successful NIL programs in America, in Oregon. They are off the hook with Phil Knight and Nike. And to me, that stuff is no accident. So Arkansas needs to start climbing that ladder. Arkansas should never be below Vanderbilt. Like, I'm not an SEC guy, but I know that.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Paul, what about it? If you could wave again, I'll give you the magic wand. As you look at the Razorback program, knowing something about the NIL, we stole one of your guys from the Boston Celtics to come down here and be the general manager, but I don't know if he's a true GM as much as maybe a glorified accountant. It seems administratively something is adrift.
I agree with that. I agree with everything Dave said. But as an outsider coming in, I look at, quite honestly, the wealth in Northwest Arkansas, and I'm puzzled. I'm very puzzled. There is a fan base that could be recruited better by a stronger NIL program. The kind of thing Dave just described, where you get people together. Hunter Henry just had his best game as a pro and a New England Patriot last week. There's no reason Hunter Henry couldn't be out there helping this program. But you've got people dedicated to this program who get up every day, go to work, make a living. But there's a lot of other people here in Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas that have Nike wealth, and I see a gap there. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is it an institutionalized NIL program that reaches out to them, or is there a sense of community in the wealthy Northwest Arkansas community that says, I'm going to reach out into the program?
Hold that thought. We got to take a break. Todd, let's get a break in, and I want to come back because, Dave, I know you've got a response, and we can talk a little bit about the dynamic of Northwest Arkansas and the rest of the state relative to this. Look, the sun came up today, boys and girls. We're going to take all that energy and channel it into something positive as we move forward. Stay with us.
Big savings are rolling now at Gwatney Chevrolet. Take advantage of the $7,500 EV tax credit before September 30th. Drive a 2026 Trax or Trailblazer for just $249 a month. Or save up to $13,000 on new Silverados. Plus, we're paying up to 20% over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And right now, you can get it all with no payments until 2026. Stop by Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville today. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. With approved credit restrictions apply, see dealer for details.
The Bud Light Little Blue Book is back on Drive Time Sports. Each Thursday at 4, Randy will open the Bud Light Little Blue Book, giving you a chance to call in and give your predictions like a pro. You can also submit your predictions on live fan feedback and the Buzz text line. Just give Randy the correct final score for the upcoming Razorback football game and the tiebreaker, and you win money, courtesy of Bud Light. It's the Bud Light Little Blue Book only on Thursday nights on 103.7 The Buzz. For a full list of rules, visit 103.7thebuzz.com.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Looking for a trailer repair? Need a new truck bed? HJ Trailer Sales has you covered. We're also your one-stop shop for Iron Bull, Good Guys, Hillsboro trailers, and yes, Hart trailers. We've even got them too. Family owned and operated, we're the most trusted trailer store in the state with tons of financing options to fit your budget. Come see why everyone rolls with HJ Trailer Sales. HJ Trailer Sales, built on trust, driven by quality. Visit hjtrailersales.com or stop by today.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WELL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WELL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WELL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code WELL.
Catch Quinn Grovey each Thursday this football season on The Zone. Get insight from one of Arkansas's best, brought to you by Conway Wealth Management. Conway Wealth Management, planning today for your tomorrow. Take control of your financial future and call or visit Conway Wealth Management today, 501-358-3994.
Or visit conwaywealthmanagement.com.
Securities and financial planning offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.
Now, more of the Sunday Buzz with Bill Vickery.
It's existential, yet it's so accessible.
Talking with Dave Latour from Pennsylvania, Paul Buckley from Boston, both in town with me yesterday for the Razorback game. Been going through sort of the business of NIL. Dave, you made an interesting point during the break about Penn State's NIL program then opening up other opportunities for the university.
Yeah, so there's a company. It was a Penn State alum. Really was involved a little bit in the university, and then got involved on the NIL end. The company's name is West Shore Home. It's literally a guy that started the business out of the proverbial garage, and now has a multi-gazillion-dollar company, West Shore Home. His name is B.J. Worsen. And this past year, the university announced a $50 million stadium rights deal with West Shore Home. It is now West Shore Home Field at Beaver Stadium. So it's a great example of how NIL can lead to bigger opportunities. And I only bring that up because, as you said at the outset, you guys are looking for a stadium sponsor. I'm not saying it would happen exactly like that, but those possibilities occur.
Yes, yeah. The point is it can all be interconnected as part of a bigger picture. And if this were a true private business, you would be in your finance meetings. These would be discussed. Paul, I'll put it to you first. It's kind of the scary thing, but private equity in college football? ? I mean, it's happening a little bit at Kentucky now, and it's happened at some other schools. But as you well know, being in, you said in Boston, one of the hubs of private equity in the United States. Is that just a slope what happens? Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. Couple of points. One is, yes, in the last 5 years, college football has turned into business, maybe even big business. But we're still talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. So, and in some ways, we talked earlier, college football is kind of like is a social good? It's a community property in some ways, and you introduce private equity, and I think you can lose some of that community feel for the product. And, to get into business, Boston, private equity, healthcare, education, technology. If healthcare has turned to private equity in my view, with very poor results. And so if I think of healthcare as a community product, a social good, private equity is causing a lot of problems in the healthcare economy.
Here we go.
And
steer the ship back, Paul.
But it's an analogy to the impact of private equity is about making money, not necessarily other end products. Yeah. And I worry that it would have a real bad effect in college football.
As a good friend of mine once told me, Dave, they don't call it show friends, they call it show business. Private equity, good, bad, or last resort sort of situation?
Well, look, you got a company like Elevate, which is a group of executives, including Harris Blitzer Sports, Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment. This group owns the 76ers in Philly, which I'm a fan of, Washington Commanders, New Jersey Devils, and they put a $500 million fund together. And there's talk of schools like Boise State that's being circled, things like that. And I think Paul is right to really kind of say this is a problem or could be a problem. But I think at the end of the day, it depends on the school. And if you're in a tough spot, you've got to consider private equity today if you don't have any other avenues. It could help you cut the corner on NIL.
It is cutthroat, to your point, Paul. It is all about the bottom line. Like I said, show friends, not show show business, not show friends. That is the barometer. The bottom line is the barometer. That can have a good effect, or a tightening effect, a positive, or it can go the other way. The point being is, once you go down that route, you are in
for sure.
You are in all the way.
But that might be your only choice.
And that may very well be the only choice for the University of Arkansas.
It shouldn't be, though, with all the wealth that sits here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yes,
it should not.
I see your point.
Well
It is.
said.
You can't get a little bit pregnant with private equity, and you would think, to your point, Paul, and yours too, David. Here we sit. I can appreciate this from someone. Please give me Bill Vickery back. I don't need to hear all this positive stuff. You got to be honest. I'd like you to be a little more negative. I can't take it. I need it. It's cathartic. Give me my Sunday morning back. Give me the angry Bill Vickery. I need a snarky, mean-spirited him.
That's the Bill I know.
Well, yes. I mean, let's be honest, guys.
I'm shocked.
You guys didn't see when you both agreed to do this show. You did not see this positivity on the horizon, did you?
Folks, understand that psychologist who visited Bill that he referenced earlier at another time, another place, well, I could have sworn I saw a pharmaceutical rep leaving his hotel room, and that could be the explanation.
The gummies have kicked in. 1 hour in the books. We will, as bad as it was, or in Dave's case, as good as it was, we'll dissect the what happened at Razorback Stadium yesterday, the big, huge day in college football, the disaster that is the U.S. Ryder Cup team, and look forward to the day in professional football. Stay with us.
Flight by Yingling and 103.7 The Buzz have your chance to win a VIP experience at AT&T Stadium. 4 tickets to see the Cowboys take on the Eagles November 23rd, along with 4 passes to the Silver Star Tailgate presented by Flight by Yingling. 4 passes at AT&T Stadium for a tour and 1 night at a hotel. Register to win at 1037thebuzz.com or look for the QR code wherever you buy Flight by Yingling. It's brought to you by Flight by Yingling and 1037 The Buzz.
I think my kid has what it takes to be a great college athlete.
Don't delay. Call Jay.
Jay has represented 4- and 5-star athletes, serving all your NIL needs with a little extra. 501-951-1333. Don't delay. Call Jay.
It's Sam Pittman Live with your host Chuck Barrett every Wednesday night at 7 through football season on 103.7 The Buzz. Coach will recap last week's game and look at the upcoming week. And it's brought to you by Bet Saracen, the best sports betting app in the state.
103.7 The Buzz.
You know how I am. You guys know how I am. I don't forget anything.
Crushing all the competition.
So you can take that to the bank.
Aero Truck Sales has been in business in North America for 75 years. They are dedicated to helping truck drivers, owner-operators, and fleet managers find the high-quality used semi-trucks that they need to grow their business. Their on-site financing team provides flexible financing options and comprehensive warranty and protection plans. Plus, their attached shop provides convenient and efficient reconditioning. Visit Aero Truck Sales at 12101 Eanes Road, North Little Rock, or view their inventory at arrowtruck.com.
He's a world champion arm wrestler and one of QC Kinetics' most outspoken advocates. When Monster Mike Todd severely injured his bicep, doctors recommended a career-ending surgery.
Well, I definitely was never going to do that because I'm a competitive athlete.
And he didn't have to, because the QC Kinetics Little Rock medical team jumped into action, treating the damage using Mike's own orthobiologics. No need for surgery.
I think QC Kinetics was a huge help in my recovery. The percentages were that I would never make it back to this level.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments have helped transform, relieve, and restore thousands of patients with injuries and joint pain.
There's a pretty good chance that with under 15 weeks, I'll be competing for the heavyweight world title. Yeah, so I might be 24-time world champion by the end of the year.
You got this, Mike. And for anyone listening who's dealing with joint pain, the QC Kinetics consultation is free. So give them a call today.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. 501-214-5880.
Where there's Razorback football, there's the First Security Bank 5th Quarter Postgame Show. Join Randy Rainwater, Marcus Elliott, and Trey Schapp after each Razorback game right here on 103.7 The Buzz. Listen in as they interview players and coaches and discuss each week's outcome. Get inside the huddle and the locker room with 103.7 The Buzz, bringing you all the information you want to know. It's the First Security Bank 5th Quarter Postgame Show, only on 103.7 The Buzz.
I know where you should go if you're really hungry. The Wood Grill Buffet in Benton. This is DJ Williams. You'll love all the choices they have with 300 items on that buffet. Meats, salad bar, veggies, sides, and even a huge dessert bar. You can pig out or just get a salad and veggie if you want to go a little lighter. The Wood Grill Buffet is at the Congo exit in Benton. It's open every Thursday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. It's comfort food at its finest.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. Brought to you by Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters for over 30 years. Call 501-568-0040 today or click online at arkansastruck.com.
It's Justin Acree for Coffin by Design West. Shop with the local folks and get exactly what you want. You can also shop from the convenience of your own home by going to kaufmanlumber.com. There's an online store with over 800,000 items in inventory that can be delivered straight to your front door. Items in inventory include everything from hardware to housewares, heating and cooling supplies, lawn and garden tools, sporting goods, store and office supplies, and there's a huge range of products in each area available. So go by their store in West Little Rock at 14900 Cancel Road or do your shopping online at kaufmanlumber.com.
Caleb Wooden Sworden gets in the zone with Justin and DJ, courtesy of Blue Collar Consulting, helping business owners lead with confidence and plan with purpose. Online at bluecollargrowth.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MILE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MILE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MILE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and Light Maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Paid depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Here, football is a religion, and Saturdays are sacred. Players live for one moment. The seconds of a game-winning pass live on forever. Where football is more than just a game. It's a way of life. The nation's best conference. An American tradition for over 75 years.
I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not forget the price I paid for it.
To the 30, Lindsey's got 35-40, Lindsey's got 45-50, 45-40, run, Lindsey, 25-20, 50, 10, 5, Lindsey's got, Lindsey's got, Lindsey's got!
Here's to Bo Jackson, Jackson's on his way. Goodbye. 71 yards for Bo Jackson.
Jones looking. Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete! A touchdown! Oh, my! I can't believe it! 31 yards to Vickery Birmingham in the back of the end zone.
Billy Cannon watches it bounce. He takes it on his own 11. He comes back upfield to 15, stumbles momentarily, sets the 20, running hard at the 25, gets away from one man for 30, still runs at 25, 35, 25. Billy Cannon raced some 89 yards for a touchdown.
Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Trouble to turn into a struggle halfway across Alabama. Well, a hound broke down and left us all stranded in downtown Birmingham. Well, right away upon me a through train ticket right across Mississippi clean. I was on that
641 yards of total offense. 431 yards through the air, 210 on the ground, no turnovers, 32 first downs, 6 of 10 on third down. That was the Notre Dame offense yesterday. Back for the second hour of the Sunday Buzz. Bill Vickery here. Up in Northwest Arkansas with my amigos who came in for the big game yesterday. Dave Latour, our Notre Dame insider, and Boston Paul Buckley, our foxhole fan who hasn't abandoned the Razorbacks. We talked a lot in the first hour about the business of college football and a lot of that in the NIL and sort of big structural stuff. Now let's get into what we saw on the field yesterday. First of all, for the first time to set in the general population in about a decade, I did enjoy you gentlemen. I did find it appropriate that when we started to set in our seats, which were on the 35, between the 35 and the 40, a couple rows back from the bench, that somehow I had a man who had to be Haystacks Calhoun from Pro Wrestling. He was easily 310, 320.
Right next to you.
And whatever his number was, it was covered up and then some. Because I know, and I even said to him, I think we got 29 through 32.
He didn't care.
He didn't care, Dave. He looked right at me and you, and he goes, yeah. And that was it. And I'm like, okay. So it just kind of jammed it. Fortunately, guys, we had, 4 to seat 3,
right?
Which is your go-to move in stadiums like that.
That was brilliant.
Dave, give me break down 2 or 3 of your impressions from watching Notre Dame yesterday, and then I'm going to ask Paul on the Arkansas side, and we'll flip it around.
First of all, I embarrassed myself. I spilled half of my Surfside before the opening kick all over our feet.
Yes. Rookie move.
Total rookie move. And by the way, rule number 1, do not wear nice shoes to a college football game.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't, so just FYI on that. A couple things really stick out about the game more than anything is this game's going to be remembered as a blowout and maybe the game that costs Arkansas their head coach. But midway through that second quarter, it was 14-10.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I remember the play of the game to me was when Clemson, oh my God, Arkansas I saw them earlier this year. Arkansas had had momentum going down the field, and then they took a sack. Notre Dame all-out blitz. Sacked your quarterback, 2nd and 21, never recovered, kicked a field goal, and then Notre Dame just started scoring touchdowns.
Yep.
You guys kicked 2 field goals early.
Yep.
Notre Dame scored touchdowns on their first 5 possessions. And for a team that's really struggling on defense, I was surprised they held them to 13 points, but they got to the quarterback yesterday, 3 sacks. It's the most they've had in a game all season, but they're still not there. And the last thing I would say is Arkansas had 5 drop passes in the first half. By count, 5 drop passes that could have changed. Notre Dame had some busted coverages on those drops that could have gone for nice plays, and that basically sums up the game.
It's interesting. You brought that up, and even at the time, you and I looked at each other and said, okay, because it's little things, especially on the defensive side. The backers scraped to the outside, and it looked like it was going to be a screen.
Right.
And because Taylor Green brought it up, and then he brought the ball back down, and when he brought it back down, it was over.
It was over.
The screen was indeed covered up.
Yep.
And so somebody playing really good assignment football, noticing that, and then to your point, that is a major turning point. It does when you have such a porous defense. You've got to hold the ball on offense, and you've got to score touchdowns.
That's it.
And then we had another 3 and out right after that.
And then a fumble and a turn, and it just sort of cascaded, and that was it. And to see Notre Dame's all-world running backs, Jadarian Price and Love, just run open with nobody around them, you knew that the defense quit.
They did seem to give up. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, the fans quit. The managers quit. The band quit. There was no fourth quarter, and you were kind enough, Dave, to relent and let us leave at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I want to say for the record, I would have left at halftime. Yeah. I'm into the party and having fun, and that game was over. For the record.
That game was over. Okay. Paul, what did you see from an Arkansas standpoint on the field yesterday?
Something was off from the beginning. I'm going to try and quantify it, but it's a feeling I had early in the first quarter that something was off. Point one, you don't take the first drive and kick the field goal.
Kick the field goal. Yes, you were really upset when we lined up for the. You got to go for it.
You know what you're up against. You know the game it was. It's in your home stadium. It's a very tough opponent. A lot of doubts. Actually, both fan bases were very apprehensive about how this game was going to turn out.
Not me.
So that to me is indicative something was off, that they kicked the field goal on the first drive. Taylor Green is usually your best player on the field. I felt he was off, and I don't know if you're right, there were drop passes, but I just felt that Bobby Petrino's play calling didn't emphasize Taylor Green enough. And particularly the run game.
Him running the football.
Yes. I would just note really quick, that was the first time I saw Notre Dame really mix up coverages in a game. They were going back and forth from zone to man, and they hadn't done that a lot this year, and I think that really caused problems.
Yep. But you are right, Paul. It was interesting because that's our bailout. He's going to run the ball. We seemed to run virtually no RPOs.
Agreed.
And when he did run, it was some scrambles. We had one or two, but he didn't really not emphasize him. We didn't have it.
And the third point I want to make is watching Arkansas on TV, as I've done so far this year, it's easy to make fun of their pass defense and whatnot. Being there live, I tried to zero in on the defensive backs, the back four, back seven, and I got nobody's ever going to hire me to coach college football. But the scheming in the defensive backfield, the fundamentals and the techniques in the defensive backfield were not strong, and you got to lay that on coaching. As technique to me is coaching as much as it is athletic talent.
That's an excellent point. You know, David and Basil and I were talking this morning. Lot of secondary guys, a lot of the line coming in high, meaning running straight up, no sort of breakdown, and it was very indicative on the last touchdown of the first half, where you had nice pass, nice catch. There's a bubble, and a great athlete from Notre Dame breaks free, but you had guys running straight up. It was usually when you see touchdowns like that to sort of end a half, it's a Hail Mary or it's a busted coverage or a guy running all alone or something. That had more yards after the catch associated with it than pass yards and yards through the air. Very poor tackling, a lot of upright running, and then your hips aren't, you're not there, and you just one move and it was a great athletic move, and that is a powerful offense on the Notre Dame side of things that they seem to have really gelling really well. But it is, to your point, Paul, did seem to be some fundamental breakdowns, and clearly, and then once you got in the second half, then it just sort of, your players, it was gone, and we didn't see the 2/3 of the student section, or 80% of the student section made. Like I said, the band had to be there, or they would have been gone.
You did say that yesterday.
Look, when you look at the numbers here, 6 of 10 on third down from Notre Dame. Arkansas couldn't get Notre Dame off the field on third down. And when we did get a real stop, there's the pass interference and a personal foul on the quarterback versus the lineman downfield. Did it all over again. That was a key moment in the game. I do think we got to look at all that. It didn't. Well, anyway,
you're just not good fundamental defensive football team.
You're exactly right.
The missed tackles were stunning. The way people were bouncing off.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of college programs have problems with tackling, though. Kids think they can lean their shoulder in and knock a player over, and it doesn't happen. But it just seems to really have become a really bad problem. I've watched 3 games of your team this year, and that sticks out the most on defense is missed tackles.
Yep. It is. And when you look at yards after catch, and what they're so it's usually a pass in between the hashes, something over the middle, and it's a 15, 17 yard across the middle, and then the guy just breaks free, and hips aren't low, guys running straight up. They're able then to, you get a juke here or there, and then you put an athlete the caliber of what Notre Dame had yesterday, and you catch a pass over the middle or on the hash, and suddenly you're 88 because you've made 2 moves, and now, oh my gosh, one guy's on the ground, Okay. Todd, kind of what we expected in terms of anticipating Razorback Opera today. Bring us the voice of Chuck Barrett and Luciano Pavarotti as Pagliacci.
Out of the hold of Devin Bale to give the Razorbacks points on their first drive. It's a good snap. The hold is down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So the Razorbacks strike first. With 12:55 to play in the opening quarter, they go 54 yards in 6 plays. How about this full house backfield? They put McCroy in the backfield. Green gonna hand it off. Shaq McCroy at the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. How about that? Arkansas scores, and they give the football to the big fella. Ashton knows the snapper. Devin Bale is the holder. It's a good snap. The kick's got plenty of distance from Starzyk, and the kick is good. Starzyk from 49 yards out. 3:48 to play in the half. Notre Dame does have to snap the ball one more time. They're in victory formation, and this one's going to come to a merciful end. It needed to end. Notre Dame has come to Fayetteville and blasted the Razorbacks. Their fans celebrate on the far sideline. Sam Pittman, Marcus Freeman meet at midfield. 56-13, the final score.
Get your tickets now for the 2025 Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic as the Arkansas men's team takes on the Memphis Tigers on October 27th at the FedEx Forum. Learn more at stjude.org/hoops and be a part of the action.
Hi, I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. Football season in Arkansas is one of my favorite times of the year. And I think we can all agree that game days are better with tailgating. Fourth quarters are better with game-winning field goals. And the best played games are better with teamwork. And just like on the field, Bell Chevrolet is better because of our people and their dedication to our customers. Shop Bell Chevrolet and BellChevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive.
For 55 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility supplies, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. Ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at SigmaSupply.com. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg at 501-617-4600 and ask for the Buzz discount now because it's there. And remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply that is now part of Brady Plus, you've got low-grade product, man.
Your home for Razorback football in Central Arkansas is 103.7 The Buzz. Coverage is brought to you by Blackman Auctions, Edwards Food Giant, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, Bell Chevrolet, and ABC Supply. 103.7 The Buzz. The Hogs play here.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state, with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The Appalachian Trail is a 2,200-mile footpath from Georgia to Maine. By the way, Bill Bryson's book on it, absolutely hilarious. And so also is Dale Sanders, who at the terrific age of 90 is setting out to be the oldest person to ever hike the trail. God bless him. May we all be active, healthy, and curious all the days of our lives. Now, thanks to Dale, I'm off to walk the dogs, but not for 2,000 miles. Stop by and register at your nearest Doublebees for your chance to win a brand new Bad Boy 550 four-wheel drive side-by-side purchased from the Bad Boy Superstore in Searcy. This terrific Bad Boy vehicle will be given away on a special broadcast of Drive Time Sports October the 8th. Need not be present to win.
Thank you for joining the Sunday Buzz. Here's your host, Bill Vickery.
Unbelievable.
Bill Vickery back on the Sunday Buzz. Dave Latour, Paul Buckley. Dave, a big Pittsburgh fan as you're watching the game in Dublin, and Vikings making a comeback on the Steelers.
See, here's something real quick that folks in Arkansas need to understand, because everybody thinks the Steelers are a great franchise, and we judge our seasons by Super Bowls, unlike the Patriots. We win them all the time.
Brutal.
But anyhow, all joking aside about the Patriots, people think, hey, Mike Tomlin's such a great coach. Like, how could you guys don't like him? The Steelers haven't won a playoff game in 8 years. They haven't been relevant. That is the longest streak in Steeler history, dating back to before Chuck Noll became head coach in 1969. And we've got a situation here where we've had a coach, Mike Tomlin, who's been in the league, been with them too long, has too much centralized power within the Steelers. He drafts all the players, he signs the free agents, he coaches them, and then he doesn't coach them very well. And so we need, I think, a fresh redo in Pittsburgh, and I'm starting to see some synergy with the Arkansas Razorbacks and perhaps a new head coach.
Paul, it seems like Dave is working a lot out over there. You as a Patriots fan and him as a Steelers fan. I mean, at least you guys don't have to suffer through tonight with Green Bay and having your best player come back and play against you. But before, we'll save all of that for the next segment.
Sure.
I want to go through the day in college football that was, because it was, I mean, aside from what we all had to witness in person, Oregon, Penn State, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi State, the Magnolia Bowl, LSU, Mississippi, Auburn A&M, Indiana, Iowa, Georgia Tech, and Wake Forest. Georgia Tech stays undefeated with a 1-point win. USC and Burt, his guy kicks a field goal. It was a. Give me some impressions, Dave.
Yeah.
From yesterday. We'll stovepipe off and put away the Notre Dame Arkansas game. Thoughts on the day in college football yesterday?
Well, first of all, are they still talking about buying out Kalen DeBoer's contract in Alabama? They had they had a new quarterback starting. They had one bad game, and now they've gone on a roll, and they went into Georgia when nobody thought they could win, and they seem to have righted the ship. That's the big takeaway for me yesterday, other than the fact that I always enjoy when Brian Kelly loses a football game and loses his cool on the sideline again. Again, just embarrassing.
I did note to a buddy of mine this morning, as I was prepping for the program, he and I were texting back and forth, that you were possibly the biggest Ole Miss fan in just to stick it to Brian Kelly.
And then I would just say, as somebody who's been to a number of Penn State whiteouts, going into that game, you will never, ever know a more insecure 3-0 fan base in America than Penn State. My wife, a huge fan, did not think they were going to win this game. They did not win the game. They have just been they're just so beaten down by losing big games that they just don't expect it anymore.
Great point. It was listen. It's visually always stunning to see it. The overhead shot.
Everybody
there in
should
Happy
go to
Valley.
one.
Yeah,
you should always go to one if you can. It's amazing.
But then the game always ends up in a heartbreaking fashion.
Pretty
whether
much.
It's Ohio State, whether it's. And let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
Can't play a night game in Happy Valley after October.
It's just too cold.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why we were so excited to have Oregon this year, because the last couple of years, because Fox screws everything up with that stupid big game at noon, they were taking big games away early in the season. We were finally able to get Oregon. Our last couple whiteouts up there have been like Washington. Nobody cares.
Because you can't play a night because it gets too cold.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Paul, your thoughts on yesterday in college football?
People ask me, being from Boston, why did I adopt the SEC instead of the Big Ten? The reason I adopted the SEC instead of the Big Ten is because that is some great football.
Mm-hmm.
Those games yesterday were really fun to watch. First impression. Second impression, no one's dominant. And I think that's great for college football.
A little bit of parity, at least the top 5 or 6 around the SEC.
So we've got we can look forward to a really fun October because no one is dominant right now. Third observation, give me my Patriots moment. Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator.
Oh, my God.
Ohio State University.
Oh, for God's sake.
Held the opposition to 145 yards.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations on beating Washington.
So, again, Patriots power is seen all across the country.
Mm-hmm.
I might say, by the way, I just want to ask you a quick question, Bill.
Yeah.
And you, Boston Paul, is the SEC the best conference in college football anymore? The last 2 national champions have been Big Ten. It was Notre Dame versus Ohio State in the national championship last year. Are they still the best conference in football?
It's interesting because I've had this conversation with folks, and I tend to think, the more I watch him now on television, the more I'm impressed with Nick Saban. Like, I think he knew.
Well said.
He knew, look, this NIL thing has shifted the power.
That's the key.
And instead of being able to go 2 deep and sometimes 3 deep,
that's the key.
With 5 stars, now you basically have your starting lineups, and they can be great, and with good NIL, you can clearly
right.
But you're going to lose guys, and the gone are the days of being able to dominate 2 deep, and with offensive linemen, with defensive linemen, and all. So you've seen a little more equity in the college football landscape. But the big guys, and now, so programs like Ohio State and Michigan and others can go, hey, we're going to lose some offensive linemen. Who can we go throw some money? We need to replace these guys. And
Oregon replaced 4 out of 5 starters through NIL this year on their offensive line, and that made a huge difference last night in that game.
It really did.
Sure, but I'm still with Greg Sankey. Look at strength of schedule. I'm with Greg Sankey. Yes, you've got the last two national champions, but dollar for dollar, league for league, team for team, I'm still taking the SEC.
Listen, my favorite conference is the SEC. Let's just be honest. But I asked the question because of NIL.
So it went from, and we sort of talked about this in the first hour, but I think you do see it play out. The I don't want to say the leveling off, but programs can be good now. It used to be, well, you had to go build facilities, and that typically would happen in Southern football programs where you'd see, that all the videos of the locker rooms and the things like that, and you go, oh my God, who wouldn't want to go here? You get this coach in these facilities, and I can go on in my career and all that, and that's how you would lure players in. Now that's gone because the money is the thing. The actual money is what lures players in, not facilities necessarily. And that's allowed players to pick spots, maybe
you wouldn't
normally go.
I would say, by the way, if Notre Dame ever gets into a conference, I hope it's the SEC. And people go, oh, wait a minute, they would fit in the Big Ten. Notre Dame never thinks in those ways. Notre Dame always tries to think in different ways. How could we recruit better in the South? We can already recruit up here. Yeah. How can we recruit better in the South? So if they ever go to those two super conferences, I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame has to jump in somewhere. It's the SEC.
One of the things that stood out on the field yesterday, that's an interesting point because there is a scenario that Greg Sankey has been actively courting Notre Dame and sort of
I would love that.
When they do pick, I'll tell you what jumped out at me yesterday was, and you're really going to appreciate this, Dave, was Ole Miss, and they won the game, but and listen, good game, athletic game, but they never seemed like they were. They always seemed to be a little in control.
Always on the edge.
Yes,
always on the edge.
And so at 5-0, I think they're better than A&M. I think they're clearly better than Tennessee. I think they're better than Alabama. I think they're better than Georgia. I think that Ole Miss team, and it's crazy because I think they are a better collection of athletes with a better quarterback last year. But the Trinidad and Tobago kid, I mean, hard to argue with the fact that, he was number 2, but yet again, all he's done against really good competition, and, Arkansas defense, I get you there, but boy, week after week after week, he's put up 300-yard plus numbers. To me, that's a team that I think has emerged as, somebody, barring injury, a team that's going to be hard to contend with down the stretch. Yes.
One thing I read about that Trinidad Tobago kid was I think he was like the number 37 ranked kid in the portal and like the number 200 kid ranked overall, which I think tells you something about Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. It's he played quarterback at the Division II level. He won a national championship. He played in front of 5,000 and 2,500 and things like that. But he's clearly an athlete, and he seems to be able to read defenses pretty well too, because he carved up LSU on a couple of key moments yesterday.
I'm a big Mike Elko fan because he coached at Notre Dame, and I would have loved for him to come back as a head coach at Notre Dame. I just have them above because I think their offense is every bit as explosive as Ole Miss's. I can't get past the fact that I thought Arkansas should have beaten Ole Miss in Ole Miss. Yeah. And I can't get past that. That defense is a little leaky. I think yesterday it was more about LSU having a really bad offense. And so if you had to tell me who do I like the best, it's A&M right now.
Is it not funny when you look at what you would have thought to be the premier quarterbacks coming into the year, the kid at South Carolina, Nussmeier, some others, and very unfortunate break for the kid at Oklahoma to broke his hand. I mean, and because he really was having a great season. Although when you run as much as you do, and that's the other thing.
That's the other problem.
We're closing out September. October is when you really get into the injury stuff because now guys, they got 3 or 4 games and they got some nagging stuff, and that's where a nagging injury leads to a bigger injury and could be a little more difficult. I can't believe that I'm saying this, and I never was a necessarily a Cignetti fan at Indiana.
Right.
Until he whooped it on Burt last week. But are they for real? I mean, I know
he's a PA boy, by the way. He's a Pennsylvania boy. He coached at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which is the equivalent of a Division II program. That's where he got to start.
Huh. Well, say what you will, Iowa, but that's not a bad team. That's going to be a team that plays in a bowl, and that's your game. That's your trap game after the big win over Illinois, and they. It was a one-score game, and it was a good game deep in the fourth, but they're still winning at Indiana.
You can set your clock though that Indiana doesn't have Iowa doesn't have a good offense every single year. You can set your clock by that.
True.
And then again, it's a recurring theme on the show. Indiana has stepped up with NIL. That is no coincidence. Once they started getting a coach in there who got them a little bit of results, they sort of jumped on the bandwagon.
But I think Indiana deserves a lot of credit for that win.
Oh, for
because
sure.
A lot of people go into Iowa and lose 13-10.
Well said.
And it becomes a rock fight, and it's weird, and you go, how did we just score?
It is a rock fight.
Real quickly, who's more overrated, Miami at 4-0 or Texas Tech at 4-0? Paul. I know. I hit you with that cold,
It's
didn't
a tough one.
Miami or Texas Tech? Both 4-0. Who's more overrated?
I'm going to say Texas Tech.
Okay. Paid 14. And that's, again, as you point out, the common theme. The NIL. There it is.
Who did they beat last week? They beat them up bad.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but I remember being shocked by that score and automatically thinking NIL right away. Here's my thing. Miami beat my team, Notre Dame, beginning of the season. They deserved it. They were the better team across the board. They paid $5 million for the quarterback, and he's been worth every single penny. But Miami can quit. And if one thing goes against them, they hang on the edge. Their fan base is the fakest in all of college football. They show up for Notre Dame, and then every other game that stadium's half full, partly because it's 40 miles from campus, and the stadium's awful, by the way. So I'm going to say Miami only because I've just seen them be so fake and paper tough.
I think Miami at 2 is more overrated than Texas Tech at 14, which is where they both
that's
sit
fair.
This week.
That's fair.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Dave, I'll start with you. Bigger disaster, Titanic, Hindenburg, U.S. Ryder Cup team this year?
Listen, I don't want to downplay the human loss of life, but it has to be the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
Okay, it absolutely has to be the Ryder Cup. This is an embarrassment. I don't know what I'm more embarrassed by, the performance of the players or the performance of the fans. Now, some people are saying it's overstated and it's not as bad as it's being made out to be on TV, but when you're yelling four-letter words at players while they're swinging, I'm all for having fun at a Ryder Cup and jeering players as they're walking up the fairway, giving them a hard time. But when they go to address a ball, now people may go, what's wrong with that? I mean, the football players deal with this all the time. Sports have different sets of etiquette. Golf has its own sense of etiquette. And you want to beat them doing it the right way. And I think there's nothing wrong with a raucous crowd, but they're out of control. All that being said, the U.S. team was severely overrated.
Yes.
Keegan Bradley was outmatched as captain. But the worst mistake U.S. made this week was they did not make Bethpage Black a difficult course to play. They tamped it down and they made it easier, and Europe just carved it up.
They haven't missed a putt. Tommy Fleetwood still hasn't missed a putt.
He's just amazing. I mean, I've never seen a team putt like that before.
Paul, I'll put it to you. I could give you a new set of disasters, but I think we're all going to agree, right? U.S. Ryder Cup?
Terrible. Even though Keegan Bradley's a Boston boy, I got to agree with my friend Dave. Bad captain. Zach Johnson was a bad captain. We talked about this at dinner last night.
Had a run.
Maybe we need that sage veteran who can bring something different, because Keegan didn't have it, Johnson didn't have it.
It's a real philosophy problem, I think, too. Like, when you watch Europe play, they love each other. They are playing together. Our guys are disconnected, man. Like, I can't stand Colin Morikawa. I know a couple caddies on tour, and they say he's the fakest guy on the tour. I mean, he was awful. I could go, like, Keegan doesn't start Cam Young, who grew up on
the
that
course.
course, won tournaments there, and he's been by far their best player. Now, listen, you know what I can't blame Keegan on? The fact that Bryson hasn't played well, and Scotty Scheffler hasn't scored a point.
A goose egg.
Can't blame that on him.
A goose egg.
With two other points, following up on what Dave just said, America's best golfers are robots.
They are robots. Well said.
And that doesn't play well here at all. And that's something we got to address. And team construction. Best players versus the right players, I think we got to take a look at that. My son is at the Ryder's Cup, and he kept saying to me, where's Pat Reed? Where's Jordan Spieth? These guys are killers, and the other guys are robots.
Right.
So,
it is interesting. You watch the European team, and it's not just been here. It was in Italy, and even when they have a team that loses,
right?
You know, they feel very European, with the exception of Rory. I mean, you know, a couple three guts on these guys, and they're all wearing beards because they'd have double. I relate to those guys.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And they're smacking it around, and when they hit the alternate shot stuff, they don't get too freaked out about it one way or the other. And I wonder how much the U.S. players are intimidated by the player they're playing with. I don't want to hit a bad shot because I don't want to put this guy in a bad position. The Europe, because we do not win that format ever.
You know what's interesting too, and that's a really, really great point. The dynamics, and that goes back to how they love each other. Like, I love Terrell Hatton. You know, like I really like Justin Rose. I like the European team inevitably in a Ryder Cup every other year. I like the team better than the Americans because the Americans are, as Paul rightly said, robots. These guys are fun, man. The Europeans are fun to watch, and they're into it. Tommy Fleetwood's into it.
It does look like they've burned a nail in between the tee box and the in between the green and the tee box, and maybe had a nip or two at the turn. You know what I mean?
And
down
good
the
for
hot
them.
dog and down the hot dog and a Guinness.
Yeah.
You know, at the halfway shack, and came back out, flipped a Marlboro off onto the tee box, and
that was
okay,
it.
boys, I'm just going to crank this one up. Todd, let's hit a break. We get back, we'll talk about the day in the National Football League. Stay with us.
A broken AC system is as frustrating as a fumble. Jet Heat and Air provides fast repairs, maintenance, and installations to keep your home comfortable, offering free estimates and financing options. To schedule, call 501-307-5959 or visit jetacservice.com. And remember, when you start to sweat, call Jet.
Make plans to attend the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette Health and Wellness Expo, sponsored by UAMS, on Saturday, October 4th at our new location, the City Center on Shackelford and Wood Rock. This free health and living expo will feature free health screenings, the Memo Van, doctor panels, Janet Carson, Arkansas Travelers Bingo, and prizes. Don't miss this event, Saturday, October 4th at the City Center in Wood Rock. Find out more, check out today's Arkansas Democrat-Gazette or visit ArkansasHealthAndWellnessExpo.com. Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz as Justin Acree and DJ Williams broadcast live from each meeting of the Wood Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Justin and DJ will broadcast live from the Doubletree downtown, bringing you interviews with each speaker and their comments to the club live. Monday, the Wood Rock Touchdown Club welcomes former Patriot running back Craig James. That's The Zone live at the Wood Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 homeowners to participate in our Rake in the Fall Savings event. The first 50 homeowners who call will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. In as little as one day, we'll take your old bathtub down to the studs and complete the installation of your brand new custom-designed walk-in shower. The first 50 homeowners who call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts, receive a $200 Amazon gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now for a free $25 Restaurant.com gift card with your free in-home estimate. That's right. The first 50 homeowners to call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH receive these special savings. Bath Makeover of Arkansas proudly serves the full state of Arkansas, offering custom bathing solutions such as bathtubs, showers, and walk-in bathtubs. In addition to a lifetime product warranty and 5-year workmanship warranty, Bath Makeover of Arkansas offers a price lock guarantee, meaning once you receive a free design consultation, your price is locked in no matter what. The first 50 homeowners who call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Amazon gift card with purchase and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Restaurant.com gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
Out of Bounds with Wes and Joe at Cigar Republic this Thursday, featuring the largest walk-in humidor in Arkansas. And with plenty of TVs, it's a great place to watch some NFL football. Cigar Republic, your cigar and whiskey destination.
You're listening to the Sunday Buzz on 103.7 The Buzz.
It brings us together.
And now, here's Bill Vickery.
Okay, back to wrap up this moneymaker up here at the at 21C in Bentonville. Paul Buckley's been with us all morning. Dave Latour's been with us all morning. Folks both came in for the Notre Dame game yesterday, and it's been a fun. I will say this: in spite of the 3 quarters of football that we saw yesterday, it's been a wonderful time. It's exactly how you write these things up. You guys have been fantastic. Love for y'all coming in. Great evening on Friday with David Basil coming up and joining us for dinner.
His stories are amazing.
He really, and that's the guy who
I'm listening to him now from now on. I can't believe how many national stories that guy's bringing.
He has been involved in so many things, and that's a guy that should be leading up our NIL fundraising effort, in my opinion. But we run into the lieutenant governor,
right?
And then she was kind enough to host us then
at the tailgate. Yeah.
At the tailgate, or excuse me, our lieutenant governor and see her, and then got a chance to run into some folks and spend the day tailgating in advance of an 11 a.m. kickoff, which is always can be a little difficult to do. I call them Bloody Mary or screwdriver kickoffs.
That's awesome.
So anyway, thoroughly enjoy you guys coming in. Really appreciate you both spending both hours today. If you didn't hear, we broke down a lot of the stuff on the NIL side. It's been an upbeat, positive energy, with the exception of the U.S. Ryder Cup. Positive energy Sunday. And your Steelers, Dave, just got it done in Dublin. So one in the book, 1 hour.
Tomlin tried to give that away. 24-6 late, ends up winning, hanging on 24-21.
Paul will tune in now. We'll take our Patriots with us to brunch right after the show's over. But before we do that, Todd, we're all going to go around the room here and prognosticate about today's action in the National Football League. Okay, gentlemen. Dave, we'll start with you.
Love that music.
It's Commanders, Falcons in Hotlanta. For some reason, Atlanta, well, I guess it's because of the quarterback issues.
Quarterbacks.
Atlanta's a 2.5-point favorite. Who do you like today?
Well, I don't think Atlanta should be favored against anybody.
Yes.
And Mariota's, he can run the ball, he can pass it a little bit. So I would never bet this game, but I would certainly take the Commanders on the road here.
Paul.
Falcons.
Falcons at home today. Todd, who do you like?
Give me the Commanders.
Well, then to keep it even, I'll take the Falcons at home today, and what really should be an upset. I can't. We'll see about Mike.
Does Todd always provide that level of analysis?
Todd, well,
okay.
Todd knows. It's when it's just Todd and I. But now he knows.
Well said.
And, this is what Todd has to do. He's looking at the clock, going, "You got to hurry, Bill.
Yeah.
You got to hurry."
That's
Bill.
what my producer.
You got
does.
exactly.
I got you.
Saints, Bills. Well, this seems pretty easy. Up in Orchard Park, Dave. The Bills are a 14.5-point favorite over the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go clearly with Buffalo, but
Yeah.
I think the Saints cover.
Paul,
Bills win and cover.
Todd,
Bills.
Now that's it.
Now
This
it's
is all
funny,
that.
yeah.
We all like the Bills today. Browns, Lions. Detroit is a 10-point home favorite in a game that must be played because tickets have already been sold. Dave, who do you like? Well,
listen, I hate the Browns, so I'm going Detroit.
Yeah, I think we all see the Lions, right?
Detroit, but the Browns are covering.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
Take
Todd?
it to the bank.
Todd?
Yeah, give me the Lions as well.
Oh, okay. Well, we all like the Lions here. Boy, the chalk's lining up. Okay, I think I know where we're headed on this one. Panthers, Patriots in Foxborough. New England is a 5.5-point home favorite. I'll put it to you first, Dave.
Yeah, I got to go Carolina in this game only because Paul's sitting right next to me, and that's literally the only reason.
Paul?
It is so difficult here. Obviously, the Patriots will win and cover, but what's really uncomfortable is sitting next to a Republican and a Steelers fan at the same time.
Yeah. And I should point out here, 3 grown men sitting on a bed together is a little awkward. Todd, real quickly, who do you like?
Give me the Patriots at home.
Okay. See why
That's
Todd
good
was
analysis.
quick, because now the music's playing.
Yeah.
So
All right,
okay,
go.
quickly we'll just hit just the picks. Chargers, Giants. LA is a 6-point road favorite. Dave.
Giants.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Todd.
Chargers.
Eagles, Buccaneers at Raymond James. Don't go to sleep on my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. Dave.
Tampa.
Eagles.
Tampa.
Todd. Yeah, Tampa. Give me the Buccaneers. Titans, Texans down in Houston. In an ugly game. But Houston is a 7-point favorite. Somebody's got to win. Dave,
I'm going to take Houston.
It's a tie.
Don't care. Yeah. It's a tie. They play the overtime. Todd, who do you like?
Houston.
Yeah, I'll take Houston. Colts, Rams in La La Land. L.A. is a 3.5-point favorite at home, I guess, Dave. Who do you like?
L.A.
Todd?
Give me the Daniel Jones-led Colts.
Wow, Danny Dimes. You know what? I'm jumping in the foxhole with my man Todd.
Like that.
Jaguars, Niners in Silicon Valley. The Niners are a 3-point home favorite. Dave.
San Francisco.
Paul?
San Fran.
Todd?
Jacksonville.
Todd and I are going to hang with our Jacksonville Jaguars because of our amigo.
The number's really short.
It is. Listen,
Yeah,
that
could be a Jax win.
That is a game that could be maneuvered. Ravens. Oh, Todd. Ravens, Chiefs in Kansas City. Baltimore is a 2.5-point road favorite. Dave.
Baltimore's 1-4 against Patrick Mahomes, and I hate the Ravens because I'm a Steelers fan. Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I hate the Chiefs. Ravens.
Todd, we know who you love, right?
You know who I love, but I'm taking Baltimore.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Oof.
Head over heart. I'll take the Chiefs at home then. Bears, Raiders quickly. Vegas is a 1.5-point favorite. Dave.
Raiders.
Bears.
Todd.
Bears.
I'll take the Raiders. I hate to pick this one. Pack, Cowboys tonight. Green Bay 6.5-point favorite. Real quickly.
I'm going to go Dallas.
Paul.
Dallas.
Todd.
Dallas.
Well, then I got to pick Green Bay. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much for being on the program. Todd, excellent job. Till next week, boys and girls, look out for number one. Don't step in number two.
Game day watch parties at Boudreaux's Grill and Bar, 9811 Maumelle Boulevard in North Little Rock, and cheer on our team. Roger will have his bag of goodies, and Boudreaux's will have great food specials.